Hey guys, it's Mongolian Mindset, and today we got one of our loyal members from Discord, Hugo, with us. We've had him on the on here
30th.
before, and we've typed
Yes.
him. So he's been typed by
Yes,
someone
just
else. So we're gonna see if he's actually his type or if he's, it's not. So man, can you introduce yourself?
hi, I'm Healer. Yeah, pretty much that's it.
All right, man.
Yeah.
What has changed for you in the last 6 months?
So in the last 6 months, I discovered someone who I like. I learned much more about the system and how functions work. I learned about social engineering, and I started reading books that essentially help my T and FI.
God
Currently,
damn
I'm
it!
reading The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, which I have it right there if you want to see.
I've already read that book.
You probably have.
I've already read that
So,
book.
okay.
It's a really good book. Um,
It is.
so you said you've been working on understanding what like people better.
Mostly, yeah, because I do tend to see other people as a problem in the way that I have about around my goals. It's always other people that tend to stop me, and
Mm-hmm.
so it's a way to defend myself.
You've been having FE problems.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay. So what have you learned?
Well, one I learned that FI is not just morals, it's also how value is something to you. And it's usually you can set a numerical value to that. So like I prioritize this over this.
Mm-hmm.
This is FI. FI is not just being like, oh, you're good, you're bad, and all of that. No, it's also like setting a value to something.
Yeah, I mean, if you read that,
Yeah,
people actually watch my
yeah.
cognitive function videos, but it goes back down to appraising.
Hmm.
Okay, that's what appraising means, right? To assess the
Yeah,
value.
which is the what's it called? John Beebe's expression. He used
Mhm.
that as well.
Yeah. Well, I just put all of them together and whatever was consistent, I just put all into like one document. That's how I did my cognitive function
Hmm.
breakdowns. Oh man, yeah, yeah. So like you said, so I told you about that social engineering, man. To me, I feel like it's garbage. Because I feel like the more you try to fake something, like the worse the results is for you in the end result. And like if you just like understand what people try to manipulate you with, but be yourself, you get better results and you don't live with stress. Like, you don't live with the stress of like, oh, every time I go around this person, I gotta do this, like fuck that shit. That's too much energy.
I have a history like of manipulation in this case, especially through during my fifth to ninth grade, because of bullying and all of that. Like, and I needed to find a way to defend myself so that I make sure that whatever happened before never happens again.
uh, yeah, see, I would have took a different approach.
Yeah.
If for me, if I was bullied or whatnot, I just hit the weights even harder, dude, or like learned martial arts, right? Because majority of the people that you run into aren't going to be trained in the martial arts. So it doesn't matter if you're like smaller than them, or it doesn't matter if you're like whatnot. Most people don't know martial arts or know a set system for how to defend themselves. So you can just beat the shit out of them.
Thing is, my mom is a Jehovah's Witness, and she for a long time didn't want me to learn martial arts
Mhm.
because she assumed that I was going to use it purposely to hit other people.
But do you find that to be true?
No, no,
Okay.
like I'm going to even quote Jordan Peterson: for you to be a
Oh,
good
Jordan
person,
Peterson.
you need to be capable of evil. You need to be capable, not mean that you're going to do it. You need to be like able to do that
Hmm.
because otherwise it doesn't prove anything. Like if you're not violent, no, sorry, if you're incapable of violence, not being violent isn't a virtue.
Hmm. Yeah.
Who said
Yeah.
that?
Jordan Peterson. He says this shit all the time.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. Like all over the internet with that motherfucker.
Mm.
So you got anything?
yeah. What are your insecurities?
Okay, so this question is actually pretty easy to answer because it's one of the reasons why I asked to redo the typing session. Because if you take a look at my previous typing session, I was at the car. I had the problem with my mobile that was overheating. It's this one which is also actually very old, and so it overheated quickly. Zoom crashed, and then we had that problem that I left the call 3 times. And like people, I don't want people to look at that and be like, "What the fuck is this?" Like I want people to look at my typing session and be confident that I'm being genuine about what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm being truthful on my own answers. I don't want to look at something that seems like staged or something that seems like forced. And
Mm-hmm.
that was the main problem that I had in my previous typing session. That's why I asked to have another one.
Yeah. I mean, I think your typing session back then was pretty authentic to yourself, man. I think it was pretty
Mm.
easy to see. I mean, I can even see it now, dude. Like you're fucking
Well, if you
pragmatic,
if
bro.
you consider if you consider back then and today, like I'm more energetic right now. I'm more confident.
Mm-hmm.
I especially with my English because at that time I was talking like this. Yes, I'm like you don't want that. You want to show yourself that you're genuine, that you're authentic. And when you're answering like that, you're not showing that.
Well, I think you personally back then, I think you were into that mode where you felt like you needed to manipulate. I feel like you got to the point where you're like, I don't need to do that anymore. Like I just whatever happens, it fucking happens, man. It's okay.
Well, I have some friends that kind of told me that it's more live and let live mentality.
Mm-hmm.
That I started taking more of an approach for. Like for example,
You seem
I
happy.
remember one of I remember one of the things that you asked me was that what was my greatest fear, and I when was answering that question, I was really trying really hard not to mention or to dehumanize the people who I dislike. Like, and I was looking at that, and I was looking with my friends, and I'm like, just tell that you hate lefties. Just tell that you don't like lefties. Like that's fine. Nobody's gonna hurt you for that.
Mm. So
Yeah,
you got
because
anything?
Yeah. What's a skill that you have that separates you from other people?
I'm capable of separating complex tasks into very simple ones, which I call modules. So let's say, for example, in my case, I'm trying to be a video game programmer. Now, for me to be a video game programmer, I don't just need to know coding. I also need to know uh, music. I need to know art, being it either drawing or like pixel art. And you need to do it like you need to break it down as much piece as possible so that you can achieve that goal. When we're I'm going to even give an example in real life. When we eat something, we do not just swallow it. No, we munch, we cut it with our teeth. We're essentially making the food more digestible to us. And so like if we do it like this, if we start by slow things and not like immediately swallow like a big thing towards our throat, it becomes easy to enjoy the process, and also the goal itself. But essentially what gives us fun is not the ends, it's the fact that we're doing, it's the process.
Well, very progression focused there, buddy. Very progression focused there.
What's
Um,
advice you'd give yourself as a kid?
Sorry.
Advice you'd give yourself as a kid?
I'd give myself. Don't be stressful. Don't be stressful. And why? It's because since I've been in a Jehovah's Witness household, one of the things that they tend to tell you is regarding the Armageddon, and that kind of fucks up with the perception of time of a child. It's like what essentially they're saying is that whatever you're doing, it's gonna mean nothing because everything is gonna be destroyed. So I try to overcompensate by being rushed, and that only makes me learn less and less and less because I'm very anxious that what I'm doing will not mean anything if I don't do it quickly. So yeah, essentially I lost all my childhood because of that. And that's what I would tell essentially to my younger self. It's like stop rushing, just be calm, like things are gonna go their way. Like things are gonna go smoothly towards your goals, and you don't have to worry a single thing about that.
How do you behave when you get angry?
Usually it's through it's through showing like screaming. It's usually through screaming that I show that I'm angry. Like when I'm angry, I don't hide it. Like I be like, you fucking piece of shit. Like yeah, it's I don't try to hide something like that.
Is it easy to get angry, or
To be honest, yes. To be honest, it's very easy for me to get angry. Very easy.
Yeah. Um, what is a piece of advice you would give to your son?
To my son,
Mm-hmm.
try to understand what people think, but don't make their thoughts manipulate your actions. It's like understand it, but don't let it take the decision for you.
Mm. Okay. So you got into coding. So what made you wanted to be a code? You said game developer?
So yeah, okay, regarding that, so first of all I wanted to make video games, but then I started having fun in just making algorithms. In like I have a problem and I have to find like a system where I need to explain piece by piece how is it gonna work. And that kind of made me feel good because I felt like I was solving problems. I was solving a puzzle in a way that was at the same level as I'm capable of. Like I like to be the most intelligent guy that you'll see, and so I see coding as like a way of me to expressing that towards other people, because it's not just okay, I made good code. No, I also make it understandable to other people. I also make it like you can read this and you can understand what it is. Like I'm not doing spaghetti, I'm both doing something understandable and I'm solving a problem.
Okay. What do you think about the new NVIDIA chip?
NVIDIA chip. Okay. Last thing that I heard about NVIDIA was pretty much the RTX 4080, but usually I'm more into the processing kind of thing and not really the graphics kind of stuff. Because if you take a look at my game, and this is why I break things into modules. Like for example, I have a skill set, and like my biggest skill currently, it's coding. And I don't need the biggest skill of drawing and the biggest skill of art, because for what I'm trying to do, which is actually kind of like an anime kind of game, like anime art style. That's what I mean. If you check my profile picture, you kind of understand like what it's kind of like. And by the way, shout out to Ellie for drawing it for me. Lively Elizabeth. So but basically I do not need to make a really impressive art style to to make it something that people will like. I need to make something that is accessible to other people first. And after that, give me a second. I forgot the questions. Fuck.
It's all good, brother.
Yeah. Could you repeat
You
it,
were
please?
talking about like the coding, like
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So here's the thing. I want to do lots of stuff because game development includes voice acting, includes art, both drawing, which is visual art and audible art. But I don't need to train all of that to get what I want.
mm-hmm,
I just need to have my main focus, which is programming,
mm-hmm,
and that will essentially not only give me like the resources to build my dream product that I want other people to see, because that's the way that I like to express myself. Lots of people do it through books. I like to actually build a game because I don't want just people to hear my message. I want people to enjoy that.
mm-hmm,
But finishing it off. So I have my skills that give my product. I
mm-hmm.
don't just have my product. I have a bunch of knowledge that I gathered through all these years of learning programming that I can now use in service of other people. Like other people want a product from me, I can give it to them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What are some things that stress you out?
Things related to quick time events,
Say
like
that one more
things
time.
that I would say things that are related to quick time events, like things that require high precision and reaction time.
High precision and
Like
reaction time.
highly like that's why I tend to play usually the video games that I play tend to have some sort of quick time events, because I think that's an important skill that I should have,
Mm-hmm.
which is reaction time. And usually, like if for example, if someone is like mad at me because I said something that I didn't realize that was hurting them, and this is common, by the way. I do not know what to do, so I freak out. I need to think quickly, but when I think quickly, I get more stressed and anxious. When I get more stressed and anxious, I can't think clearly.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the biggest issue for me. So essentially, I get to an infinite loop of stress, and I get more and more stress because essentially, I see myself in a reversive problem. It's always going back to the same thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I kind of have that similar problem there. Like, I can't really react to people in the moment,
Hmm.
with how they feel. So, like, if you want to, if that's where I'm gonna blunder at the most, like blunder, blunder, blunder. Like if you play chess,
Yeah.
that's
Yes.
where
Yes.
I'm gonna
Yes.
blunder, blunder, blunder.
Yeah.
And
It's
there's
when
been a
it's when you
moment where
get
I got,
1 minute. It's when
hmm,
you get 1 minute. It's like the stress comes up. You feel the dread. You feel the tension. Everything is going through your veins, and you try to be quick about it, but that only worsens the
yeah.
situation.
So I mean, I've come with what I would call like a strategy for it. And it's just like
Hmm.
understanding the small things. Do the small things, right? Whatever it is, like let's say, for instance, like the pressures inside of my head like building up. I'm trying to perform a task, right?
Hmm.
And god damn it, I'm fucking up, right? So there's a little like kick in my head that says, all right, Mercer, slow down.
Hmm.
What can we do here? Like focus on doing the little shit here, and that's what you need to focus on, because once I start focusing on the little things, then like all of the nervousness kind of dissipates, and then I
Hmm.
can actually do it right. Um,
Yeah.
so like
Yeah.
if we
You.
play like a video game or something, like
Hmm.
sometimes like we used to play very competitive video games, and we used to like I remember one time Christian, like it was like we bet like two he bet $200 on me on this guy, right?
Uh.
And I was the by far the best, right? I was by far the best in the game. And Christian bet like $200 on me to play this other guy. And like I was like not performing well. And Christian, and it was because Christian put the money on me and it put the pressure on me. And he like at one time he like stopped the game and he's like starts cussing me out. He's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? It's like now you fucking playing like shit because I put $200 on you. So then
Yeah, that thing
it-
can actually make it worse.
yeah,
People
so
people
put a whole
giving
bunch of
high
pressure
hopes
on
on
me.
you because you get performance anxiety.
Yeah, so it ramped it up, and then I start doing really bad. But then like I just it's like slowed down, and I got all the water. It's like I was in an ocean, and
Yeah,
then I just it's gone.
yeah,
And then I beat the shit out of dude. And the one thing about me is if I go through something like that, you will never beat me again. So the guy went to bet $200 again, and I just destroyed him because now like
yeah.
the
Now
ocean's
you're
not there anymore.
prepared. Now you know
Yeah,
what it's like, and so you prepared yourself.
yeah. So like he just literally got destroyed, like
Yeah,
beat down. But at that point in time when he first put the money on me, it was like I was in an
yeah,
ocean. I was like, what the fuck? I don't know.
yeah.
It's fucking me up. But yeah, Shelly, you got anything?
Yeah. What makes you trust someone?
Loyalty, I would say.
Loyalty. How do you know if you got loyalty, man?
If they show genuine care for myself being my what I'm trying to achieve, and honestly, if I'm gonna be okay at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the situation, like that means okay, you're looking for my, like saying my win, it's not the best word, but it's kind of like you're caring for me, and so like I will allow you essentially in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll let you be part of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um,
Like with I have an INTP friend who I met like at April, like after I actually had a an issue with some other girl out of some lots of stuff that at the time I didn't understood what was happening, and so I was freaking out because like I was being lonely again, and I like I didn't knew why. I couldn't understand what was happening. I couldn't understand why people were leaving me, why people were taking a dislike of me, and she kind of like uh she, let's say she, it's like the extrovert who adopts the introvert. She basically took me to her group,
mm-hmm.
and it's essentially the persons who I trust the most at this point. It's been a year, and yeah, it's I give all my trust to that person,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a combination of actions and experience. Like, how long has this person been doing this?
Mm-hmm. Overtime period. Yeah,
Yes.
man. I just feel like for myself, with I've always been really good with making friends, and
Mhm,
my thought process is not like that. I care about friends or making friends. It's like
mhm.
I'm gonna do what I want to do, and I'm gonna be who I am. And whoever sticks around. And whoever does stuff
Yeah.
stick around, I'll fucking replace them. That's always been my mindset.
Mhm.
But for me, but I never will be a shitty person, right? Because I feel like once you do start doing like shitty, snaky shit, it just leads into just bad shit, right?
Mm.
So I'm always
Yeah,
gonna,
that's the FI inferior thing.
yeah, well, yeah. Like I'm never gonna do snaky, shitty shit. So like most of my friendships are 10 plus years, right?
Mhm.
And they've learned to accept who I am.
Yeah,
Uh, but like you got to have that mindset to like, hey, I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna do what I want. But I'm not gonna be a piece of shit person.
maturity tends to make you stronger. Yes, the longer something lasts, the more durable it tends to become.
Yeah. So like, then you'll notice like, holy shit, and like a lot of times, especially with your personality type, like you gotta help people, man. Like if you go out and help people and just notice, you'll notice that you start getting a lot more friends, right? But if you like close up yourself into your own little like wall or castle, you won't have any friends. But if you actually go out and like, hey, you know what? You are struggling with this. Let me help you with this, right? You're struggling with this. Let me help you with this. But before you know it, over a period of time, you have so many friends and so many people be like, hey, man, blah, blah, blah. And it might even turn into a business for yourself.
Mm.
Um,
Essentially, if you want to get help, and if you want to get better, you need to help other people get the same thing. And
mhm,
this is why I created the club my programming school. It's actually more like a computer school. So I'm creating like a club that's about mental activity, like strategic intelligence and lots of metrics. Because I really lacked at this situation, and I want to improve at this. But in order for me to improve, I need other people to help me, and I need people to essentially, let's say, duel kind of. And I use various metrics like chess, real-time strategy games, because it's essentially the best way to test your skills. And the things that I mostly dream about, it's commanding an army. It's being capable of commanding an army, which is why I highly value strategic thinking.
Yeah, that's kind of like the same thing for me. I've kind of always been molding myself since a small age on like being strategic because like I've always had an idea of wanting to have an army. It's kind of when I was a kid, I was very envious of Napoleon, even Adolf Hitler. I was envious of him. Like, damn man, he got a whole nation. It does. I mean, he's a piece of shit person, but at the end of the day, he had a whole nation that was listening to him and his strategy, his thoughts, and his philosophies.
Yeah. Thing is, he was chancellor. He was not the general, but he was taking military decisions as if it was a shit, a general. Yeah.
Yeah.
As if he was commanding the army.
Yeah. I
But
mean,
yeah.
I think that ended up fucking him. Like he should have listened to like Erwin Rommel. He was really good. But Hitler just
I
was
mean,
more afraid of him.
Hitler lost because he didn't listen to lots of people.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just how it is. But yeah, I've always kind of been doing the same thing when it comes to like strategic things of that nature. Like I always thought like, man, I would love to like battle what's his name? Alexander the Great. Like
Oh yeah.
he gets aside and I get aside, I get to talk to my troops and then we get to battle. I always like
Yeah.
dreamed of that shit when I was a kid, like
And
Hannibal.
by the way, that guy was short.
Alexander the Great was short.
He was short.
How short was he? I don't know.
Let me search that. How tall was Alexander the Great? 5'4". Okay, so like so like I'm 5'5", and like he's 1 inch
Shorter
he's
than you.
1 inch taller, shorter than me.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Shelly, we done? What are you thinking?
Yeah, we're done. I was just gonna ask
Yeah,
him
man. What do you want to ask him, Shelly? Go ahead, go for it.
out of curiosity. So, other people's perception of you, like what would be something that would bother you if that they thought about you?
So one of the reasons why people assume that I try to get another typing session, it has to do with this. It's because I got typed INFJ by CS Joseph, and what that kind of looked like, it's that lots of people tend to take his word and not think about that. Not always. Some people actually make their argument, but what actually happens is that they make this judgment of you, and they no longer see you as, in my case, they no longer see me as Hugo. They see me as the INFJ. They see me as the TI user, the guy who's always masturbating to logic. And like the thing is, I don't like this. The people taking this role on me. I do not accept it, because it's essentially also not the person that I kind of want to be. I wish to be someone who's great in terms of recognition. I want to be a role model to other people. Like I don't want to be in my own lane. So I try to like I already, previous to this, I already overcompensated a lot of TE. And I started doing it much with T and FI by reading books such as The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, because like I see that, okay, people are not recognizing TFI in me. People are thinking that I'm affiliative because I want to help other people. And so I'm like, no, I'm gonna like try to correct these issues, and I do it through books, I do it through learning information. And the worst part is that when you actually learn information, you're kind of like playing to their game, because they're gonna say that, oh, that's how the trickster function works. It overdoes. It tries to take over the parent. The trickster tries to take over the parent. So this is a game that I cannot win.
Right.
This is something that I can never prove to be wrong. I can never say no, I'm not INFJ, because they're always gonna circle back to the same reasoning.
Okay. So first thing I would say is, um, don't listen to the opinions of morons. Right. I like. I think about it. I hate to say it, but you can suck. They can kiss
The
my ass.
worst
You can
part is
suck my
that they
dick.
have the knowledge that I need, and they refuse to give it to me because this is not for you. Like, this is for INTJs. You're an INFJ. Like,
So like most of the time when you're dealing with those people, it's like those people are idiots, first of all. And
yes,
if you become the successful person in coding, will they even be around? Or we even want them around? The answer is fucking no. So they don't even fucking matter. Okay. And if they can't read and understand themselves, read or understand or take the time to, then they're just fucking moron monkeys.
yeah.
And do you really want moron monkeys around? The answer is fucking no. Um, but I mean, it's pretty easy to see that everything that you do is strategic intelligence, right? If
Mm.
they actually took the time to actually read Linda Barron's work, you will understand that every temperament has a core to it, and these cores express themselves in a different way, right? INFJs have diplomatic intelligence. That's more about empathy, bridging the gap between people, right?
Yeah.
Uh, that's not
Mm.
strategic intelligence. Your focus is on strategic intelligence, okay? So
Yeah.
that would be the core of an
T
NT.
user.
Yeah, no, an NT. That's going to be the core
Mm.
of NT.
Okay.
If you, I don't know if you read, like, I mean, well, I have a video
I
on
watch I
it,
watch your video, but I forgot
temperament
the
core.
classifications.
So like
It will be also
SJ,
interesting to see the intelligence of each interaction style for the finishers, the starters, the structures, and the outcome, the
so
backgrounds.
when you look at the temperaments or whatever, the NTs have strategic intelligence, SPs have tactical intelligence. So that's going to
Mm.
be in the moment here and now.
Mm.
SJs have logistical intelligence, and then
Mm.
NFs have diplomatic intelligence. But from themselves, they have a core needs, right? And you can see
Mm.
the core needs come out in certain people, right? So, like,
Mm.
if you see in myself, you will see that I'm always talking about mastery or competence,
Yes.
and I really care
Yes.
about that. That is the core of an NT in itself, right?
Mm.
As in an NF, it's about purpose, higher meaning of life,
Mm.
self-actualization, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Empathy, bridging the gap between people, that's more of their core, and that comes out. And if they try
Mm.
to you will see like some of the INFPs or INFJs or ENFJs or
Mm.
ENFP, when their core isn't being able to be expressed, they'll start getting stressed because they want that higher purpose. They want that higher purpose in things.
Mm.
They want that global interest. But like
Mm.
it's easy to see that you're very systematic. If anything that you do is systematic, why would an INFJ be talking so much about systems here? Okay, and then again, like why would you have if you're an INFJ, why would you have
I
so many
mean,
problems with people?
I'm aware of what they would say, and it would be kind of like masturbating to logic,
I mean,
essentially.
well, if you're an INFJ, why would you have struggles with understanding people?
I kind of have some, but it's not. I mean, it's kind of it's this is more like a placebo. Like if people tell you something, you're more actually to end up like what they're saying.
Hmm.
Like if people will tell you, okay, you understand people. If everyone tells you that you understand people, you're gonna end up actually understanding people. If
Hmm.
everyone tells you you do not understand people and wants you to force that onto you, you're not gonna understand people.
Mm.
This is how placebos work.
Well, I mean, I do get that point, but at a certain point, we usually do what we're good at, right? So the
Hmm.
reason why you fucking suck with people is because you've always went for the system behind a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
Being systematic or going behind the system or the structure behind things makes you a lot colder, right? That's going to make you a lot colder because you're not interested in the people. You're interested in the system. You're always going towards the system. The system is a cold thing. While like if you were focused on people, you'd have a better understanding of people. So that comes from being systematic to a very large degree. If you follow me.
Well, okay. Do you remember Blackstone,
Mm-hmm.
the NTP guy? Well, Chai tells me that I look like him.
That you look like Blackstone.
Yes, yes, yes.
So she thinks you're ENTP?
She thought for a while, but then she completely um she removed that possibility because she's aware that I'm Enneagram Sexual 5 and like only INTJs and INFJs can be that. So she removed the NTP and INFJ without removing INTJ from the equation.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
pretty easy to see that you're INTJ. I mean, it is like even when you're talking about the coding, breaking it down, step by step progression.
Yeah.
Um, you're very focused on
I
the process of things. I mean,
try
direct
to make it
process.
presentable as well, which is the
Often authentic. Even quoting Jordan Peterson early on. Yeah, man, we got you in high precision and reaction time. That was your SC inferior coming out. Uh, Yeah, man, we got you INTJ again, bro. I mean, this is the second time.
I mean, no surprise.
It's
No
pretty
surprise that
obvious.
I'm INTJ.
I mean, I mean,
Yeah.
it is what it is, man. You're gonna go out in life and you're gonna accomplish what the fuck you're supposed to accomplish in life. And what retards say doesn't matter, right? You are you. And what a retard says about you doesn't matter. What a stupid motherfucker says about you, it doesn't fucking matter. You can focus on achieving what the fuck you want to do. Help the people that you need to help. And I think that's very important for an INTJ to do is to realize you need to actually help other people because you're
My
not
biggest
going to get what
issue,
you want until you
yeah,
start helping other people.
my biggest issue is actually gaining knowledge for that. It's because like if someone has knowledge and they deliberately do not tell me, I kind of feel like, dude, why? Like, what the hell is your problem?
But the knowledge, uh, to me, I just go searching for myself, man. Like
Yeah, yeah,
if
I
I
go
feel like I'm
searching for myself,
inadequate,
but
if I feel
yeah,
like I'm inadequate with knowledge, dude, I'll just go and just do it myself. And then it's like weird because I get this like obsession type thing when it's like that. It's like I get this weird obsession where I'm like controlled to read like all this shit out of nowhere. So I actually like the feeling because it'll steer me to that. And then when I come
yeah,
back, I got like a PhD in some knowledge.
yeah. But look, T wants other perspectives, and when people and T is based sorts. I do not know if you're aware of input, process, output, feedback. T is usually considered input.
Mm-hmm.
So when I give input, and just because they think that I'm an INFJ, they give me a null output. It's kind of like, okay, no matter what input I'll give, I'll always receive a null output. So like I understand that this is not the good place to get the input, but then where?
You build your own. You build your
Exactly.
own. You build your
Yeah,
own.
when T doesn't work, you use TI.
Like, I mean, you should be able to use
Yeah.
both. Like, you're not going to be
Yeah.
a good thinker unless you can use both. If you use one,
Yes.
you're going to fuck up so bad. Like, you need to be like a person who's actually an intelligent human being needs to be able to use both.
Hmm.
You have to be able to use TE and TI. If you only use
Yes.
one, you're gonna fuck up, all right? Because if you only use
Hmm.
one, then you got so much. Like, let's say I always joke
Yeah.
with the INFJs, right? I say they are the 1998 MacBook from 1998, right? It takes them so long to process information, right? And then they'll
Yes.
come back like 2 years later, like, yeah, man, you were right about my type. Like, yeah, motherfucker, process the information, right? And then if you got
Yeah.
like a ESFP or whatever, then they can't logically deduce anything behind anything. So it's just like
Hmm.
surface level TE shit with them. So to be able to be an effective critical thinker, you need fucking both. And if you only have one, you're a fucking moron. Shit, I hate to say it. Goddamn 9
Yeah. Yeah.
You done made me call
Don't worry
INFJ
about that.
more.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
Like if
Yeah.
you only have fucking one, you're not gonna be. You're gonna have you just so many holes gonna be in your game. It's like I don't understand. Um, but
Yeah, yeah,
that's
essentially.
the I guess their community where they're like focused on you're a TI user, you're a TE user. It's like, okay, I have a preference for TE data, but I'm definitely gonna back that up with TI. Okay, there's definitely gonna I'm definitely gonna be like this TE data needs to logically make sense to me. They're both like you have to use both.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're gonna mess up so much. How can you do coding if you can't use both?
Lots of people actually say that TI is the one that verifies, which doesn't make any freaking sense because
Okay.
TI is the one that checks information. Is the one that checks, okay, where's this coming from? Who is the person behind this information? Like, is it a fucking moron, or is it someone who has the credentials and so I should listen to them?
Mhm.
TI doesn't do that. TI doesn't do that unless like in high thinking people where they have T in their critic or nemesis slot
Opposing, yeah.
or attitude. Like they're generally not gonna verify. INFJs tend to take any single information that they take as viable information
Mhm.
because of TE trickster. They do not know how to filter good sources from bad ones.
Yeah, I just see with them that it takes them so much longer to process information.
Yeah.
Like the MacBook 1998. That's what I said. Like it's 2024, bro. Go get a 2024 MacBook. They got like a MacBook 1998. So like information they have to logically deduce to accept it for themselves, and it takes
Yes.
forever.
Yes.
It takes forever. But I mean, they're wonderful people. Everybody does things and they have strengths and weaknesses, right? They have diplomatic intelligence, very good at bridging the gap with people. Everybody fucking loves them. Okay, everybody don't fucking love me. Okay, it's either you love Mercer or you hate him. It's no in between. Um, Shit. So I mean, everybody's got something. You know, it is what it is. You know, you just use your talents to get where you want to go. You want to be a fucking coder. You want to make games. That should be your focus. Should not be the focus to listen to fucking moronic people out here who spew anything that don't even verify anything, that don't even read anything, haven't even read any books. Just take whatever somebody else's word is. Fucking
Yeah.
idiots. And that is the same reason why, like, I put all the information that I know onto my YouTube. If you want to watch those PowerPoints, be my guest. You know
Yeah,
that
I'll watch
all
it.
my information.
I'll
I'm
watch it.
not gatekeeping any information because I don't. It's like the same thing with the fucking gym. I teach everybody the same shit that I know. You should be able to do exactly what the fuck I do. Okay, I should not. You know, I should not have to be like yelling at anybody because then I'm gonna get mad and call you a moron. Um,
Not every case is the same. Like some people cannot process nutrients like as fast as other people, and so their growth in the gym might be
oh
slow.
no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying
Yeah.
like when I train them, like or like my
Yeah.
friends always work out with me. Like I'll just like I'll show them what I do, right?
Yeah.
And I train them so that they be able to do it on their own. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? Like I'm
Oh
training
yeah,
to be able to use the
that's
product that
totally
I've
understandable.
taught you to be able to use it into the future without me being there. That's the same way I do the YouTube.
Hmm.
I train people to use this information as if I'm not even fucking there.
Hmm.
For the record, you correcting Mercer, that was TI critic. So,
Sorry, could you repeat?
I said, just for the record, you adding in correcting Mercer there, that some people can't process nutrients the same way. That would be TI critic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you
And the
could
critic
say
said
that
that.
TI is highly present. Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be highly present in anybody who has
Yeah.
TE.
But yeah, essentially this is what I believe. I'm INTJ, and at some
Mhm.
point I do need other people to also
Fuck
see me as an INTJ if I'm
Fuck
gonna get advice. Otherwise, I'll have to depend on myself.
And that is if you have to depend on yourself, you have to depend on yourself. Fuck them. Like, hey, it is what it is, man. Like if
Mm.
I'm just like not really focused on what anybody says. They can kiss my ass. They can suck my dick. I don't give a fuck. They're fucking
Yeah.
losers. They're not gonna accomplish shit in life, dude. Don't talk. I'd be like, bro, don't talk to me if you
Yeah.
ain't made 100,000 last year. Do not talk to me. Like,
Mm.
and don't even make me pull out reading comprehension because I swear to God, there's a very few amount of people that can actually read and comprehend. All right, and the people that can read and comprehend cannot use it. So it's like bro. You're gonna get me in the rant here. But Hugo, man, you're an INTJ, man.
Yeah.
Um, it is
Not
what it is.
hard, not hard.
I mean, it was. I mean, it's the second time we typed you, dude. It's
Yeah.
pretty easy to see, like, the things you struggle with, man.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, I actually like this typing session because I'm expressing myself more. I'm being even more direct than what I was previously. And like you asked me a question, I was like, boom, 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 like immediately. I just answer it, and I was more able to grasp the words that I need. I was having less trouble with English. My English skills improved in a year time.
it's really good, man. I
Yeah.
mean,
So
I
yeah, I
think
appreciate
overall you're just more happy, man. You
exactly.
seem to be a lot more happy. Like I think last time we had the type of session with you, you seem to be more trying to manipulate shit, like
Yeah.
systems, the engineering shit. And remember I told you, like, bro, you don't really want to do that. Like, it's not gonna lead you anywhere with that sustainable.
Hmm.
Like, if you do that shit, you're gonna have to keep doing that shit. Like, you're gonna have to keep doing it. So you're gonna live in a life of hate. Like, you have to live in a life that you don't even want. And then eventually one day you're gonna break, and everybody's gonna think you fucking crazy, or you're not the person that you
Yeah.
say you are. So like,
Yeah.
you can't build uh what they say, you can't build a fucking castle on sand or something. What the fuck they said? I don't remember what.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
Well, not that. I'm just saying, like, you can't build shit on a bad foundation. So like, if you're
Oh
trying to
yeah.
manipulate everything, like, you're building something on a bad foundation. So even if it
Hmm.
does work, you still got rocky and shitty foundation underneath that,
Yeah.
and that shit's gonna crumble one day. So that's why I told you, it's like, yo, don't worry about that shit. Don't try to manipulate people. Just be the best version of yourself. And they either
Hmm.
take it or they fucking leave it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, man, it's been a pleasure, man. You got me ranting like crazy. All
Yeah.
right, man. I'll see you
Well,
in
we'll see each other eventually. See
all
ya.
right. All right, brother. All right, Shelly.
But
All right.